I was going to make a video on how the Super Skrull was going to be in Secret Invasion a week before the show even dropped the first episode. Yesterday the second episode released, and guess what? Something in the show kinda looks like it's going to be a Super Skrull, and my guess the main villain of the show. But before we go and talk about my theory, let me tell you a little about the Super Skrull. The Super Skrull is a character in Marvel Comics, first appearing way back in Fantastic Four issue 18 in 1963. Created by the legendary duo of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, the Super Skrull was designed as a formidable antagonist for the Fantastic Four. But what makes the Super Skrull so super? Well, unlike regular Skrulls who have shape-shifting abilities, the Super Skrull possesses incredible powers all in one package. The Super Skrull has all the powers of the Fantastic Four combined into a single being. That's right, the Super Skrull was genetically modified to have the abilities of Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, and the Thing. It's just like having the Fantastic team in one villainous character. Each of the Fantastic Four's power is magnified into the Super Skrull. He can stretch his body like rubber and create invincible force field, burst into flames, and have superhuman strength, endurance, and durability. Just imagine the havoc he can wreak in the show in Secret Invasion. And the Super Skrull is not weak at all. Over the years, the Super Skrull has clashed with various Marvel heroes, including not only the Fantastic Four, but also other notable characters or teams like the Avengers, Spider-Man, and even the X-Men. His combined abilities make him a formidable opponent for many superheroes and superhero teams. But like any good comic book character, the Super Skrull had its fair share of stories and arcs. He's been both a villain and an anti-hero, and his motives have ranged from serving the Skrull Empire to seeking personal glory and revenge. And now that you know a little bit about the Super Skrull, I'm going to talk about why the Super Skrull is going to be in Secret Invasion. In this episode, we see Gaia sneaking around the Skrull base and finds a computer, and in the computer we see that the Skrulls have the DNA of Groot, Extremis, a frost giant beast, and from one of the members of the Black Order called Obsidian. How the Skrulls got these things? Let's start with the easy one. Cole Obsidian, his hand cut off in Avengers Infinity War, and we see his hand in the computer, so that's how they got his DNA. Extremis, he was, as you may know, in Iron Man 3 and Shang-Chi, and that happened on Earth, so it was easy for the Skrulls to get something from his virus. Now Groot, it said it was acquired from Earth, so probably from the Battle of Earth in the end of Endgame. I doubt it was from the Battle of Wakanda. I don't know how they could get something from Wakanda. And finally, a Frost Beast. And they got that because a Frost Beast was transported to Earth in Thor the Dark World. And I'm guessing that this is the beast. And I know many of you don't remember that because no one remembers Thor the Dark World. In my opinion, I love that the MCU is making their own kind of Super Skrull, and that it has things from the MCU lore. They are replacing the Fantastic Four because, or at least I think, that as we know, the Fantastic Four haven't shown up in the MCU, but we know their movie is coming out May 2nd, 2025, so replacing them makes more sense. Though I love the Fantastic Four, for me they are top 2 teams in the Marvel overall, and I think that they don't want the members to start off in a bad way by making the first appearance as DNA for a villain. But who knows, maybe they could show up in the show, but I doubt it. But let's talk about why they chose these characters, and obviously the Beast. So with Groot, they get Mr. Fantastic Stretchiness, Extremis for the Human Torch fire abilities, Call Obsidian for the strength of the Thing, and Frost Giant because I really don't know, because they're replacing Invisible Woman because they need a 4th member, and maybe, just maybe, the Frost Giant Beast can go invisible, but I don't think so. I doubt it. And we know the Super Skrull is going to be in the show, because in the trailers we see Gravik has superhuman powers or superpowers, and can stretch his hand and it looks like Groot. So his stretchiness comes from Groot. That's going to be it for this video, and I have nothing more to say, so I'll catch you all later. Goodbye.